guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I wanted to go ahead and talk about these Nintendo handhelds that I have in my collection. Now, a lot of people have actually asked me in some of my videos what I actually use to display these Game Boy systems, and people wanted to see some of the different handheld variations that I have in my collection. So today we're going to go ahead and celebrate 30 years of the Nintendo Game Boy. So let's go ahead and check it out. So first we begin with this standard Nintendo Game Boy. Now this was the first release in 1989. This is the regular color variant of this Nintendo Game Boy. And then of course Nintendo released a campaign called Play It Loud, where they released several different other colors in this handheld set. So here we have green. We even have this black Game Boy. We have this red one. And then we even have this clear Game Boy. And there are actually two other colors in the Play It Loud set. So we have yellow and blue, which I'll have to add to my collection to go ahead and complete the Game Boy set. And then of course I even have this special one right here. So this is a Korean Game Boy. And this is the Nintendo Game Boy, and this is actually the Hyundai Comboy. So this one is very similar to the regular variant of the Game Boy, but this one just has this little print on here that goes ahead and says that it's the Korean variant of this game. And then I even have a couple Korean games in my set where I have Tetris and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is definitely a pretty sweet variation of this Game Boy. And then moving on to these Nintendo Game Boy Pockets, which were released in 1996. We have these different colors here. So we have this regular blue color, and then of course we have this red. We have this atomic purple, this extreme green, this clear, and then even this gold Game Boy Pocket. Now there are tons of different variants that I actually don't have, but a couple more from the Game Boy Pockets that I do have. I have both of these Japanese exclusives, which this one is the Tamagotchi, which is pink and even includes the Tamagotchi game. And then I even have this Hello Kitty variant, which also has a Hello Kitty game in here as well. Now this one's pretty neat because it came with this sticker pack, so you can go ahead and put the stickers on the Game Boy to go ahead and spruce it up just a bit. Now, of course, many people ask me what stands I'm actually using here. So these are actually a two-part plastic. They come in a little package, and you just go ahead and put them together just like that. And you can go ahead and adjust it to see if you want the Game Boy to lean back a little bit or just set up. Or you can get these plastic display stands here. Now these ones do cost a bit more money than these. I actually like these ones because they are pretty cheap. They're less than $1 a piece, and the more that you buy, you get a better discount. So I actually found these stands on eBay, and these are actually rock and gem stands, where you go ahead and display different rocks on these stands. So if you just search anything along the lines of that, you can go ahead and find these stands. They're pretty simple to put together, and they last pretty well. And they do fit a lot of these different handhelds. And then of course moving on to these Game Boy colors that I have in my collection. Now this seems to be the largest amount that I actually have in my handheld collection. So these were actually released in 1998, And of course we have this berry color, and then we have this grape, this kiwi, and this dandelion yellow, and even this teal color. Now, I actually had this one growing up, so I had the atomic purple, which definitely is pretty sweet looking because it has this clear see-through aspect to it. And then we even have this clear one, which is definitely pretty sweet looking. And then on to some special editions. I actually have this Tommy Hilfiger special dandelion color variation. So it has this Tommy Hilfiger logo, and you could actually only pick this up when Tommy Hilfiger had this Game Boy campaign going on in their store. So you could actually purchase one of these with their back to school campaign. And then of course we have this Pokemon, which is definitely pretty sweet because the faceplate right here is actually different than the rest of them. So it has this Pokeball up here for the power signal, and then we have Pikachu, Togepi, and Jigglypuff, and even the buttons are different colors, and this is a two-tone Game Boy Color, which is definitely awesome. And then we even have this Pokemon edition, so it says Pokemon Center, kind of has this silver/gold color to it, and then once again this faceplate is different, so we have various Pokemon on here. And then we have this pretty sweet limited edition, which is a Japanese exclusive, and it was only sold at the Tsuchiya stores. And then of course we have this Japanese exclusive, which is the ANA, and it has this special faceplate, and it's this see-through colored blue color. So that is definitely pretty sweet looking, and it definitely goes along nicely with my Japanese ANA Nintendo 64. And if you aren't sure what ANA actually stands for, it's the Japanese Airlines, so it's All Nippon Airways. And then of course this Japanese exclusive, we have this atomic purple color, and this is the Justco atomic purple Game Boy Color, and it even has this Mario faceplate. Now they do make another variant of this that's the actual clear color with the same faceplate, so this is definitely pretty sweet. And then of course this Australian variant, we have once again a two-tone handheld, and it's this yellow/orangish color on the back with this green on the front, and it says Aussie 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 with this Australian display right there. And then next up we have these Game Boy Advance handhelds right here. So they definitely look a lot different as we progress through. And these were actually released in 2001. So we have this indigo color, and this one was one of the ones that I actually had growing up. And then of course we have this fuchsia, which is pretty cool because it's this see-through color once again. And then we have this silver, which these definitely resemble the Nintendo GameCube console colors. And then we even have this spice orange, which is a Japanese variant of this Nintendo Game Boy Advance. So this one is actually one of my favorites, and even the Nintendo GameCube, that is the spice orange, is one of my favorites as well. And then of course I have a couple different variants. So we have this Pokemon version, and this is the Pokemon Center New York. It says Game Boy Advance, and we have Pikachu right there on the faceplate, which is different, and it's this gold color. So this one is definitely pretty sweet. And then moving on to some Japanese variants, we have this one, which is actually one of my favorites. This is the King of Fighters EX Neo Blood, and right here it says Gameboy Advance, but it has these sun and moon logos on the faceplate, and then even the back has this sticker right here with two of the characters, and it kind of has this translucent effect to it, so you can kind of see through it, so it's definitely pretty sweet looking. And then of course we have this Hello Kitty version, which says Hello Kitty, Gameboy Advance, and two Hello Kitty pictures right there on the faceplate, and it's this pink color, which takes a spin off of this Gameboy Pocket that I have in my collection, so that is definitely pretty sweet. And next up we move on to this Nintendo Gameboy Advance SP, which was released in 2003, which I spent a lot of time playing this growing up. And I do have another one of these, but it's actually in the kiosk that I have. So this one is definitely pretty sweet, and I really enjoyed playing a lot of the games on the Game Boy Advance SP. And then of course in 2004, they actually released the Nintendo Game Boy DS. Now I actually have a later model of that, so we'll go ahead and jump to this, which is the Game Boy Micro, and this was actually released in 2005. So this is definitely a pretty neat handheld right here. It fits these Game Boy Advance games, and the screen is definitely bright. This is actually one of my favorites as it fits right in your pocket. It's pretty small, but it definitely is pretty sweet, and it's fun to play. And then of course in 2006 they actually released this Nintendo DS Lite, which I have this one in my collection. This one has this red color. Now of course they have tons of different color variations of all of these systems, so this is definitely pretty cool. And then moving on, in 2008 they released the Nintendo DSi, which I do not have. But I do have this version. This is the Nintendo DSi XL, and this was released in 2009. And this is the special edition. It's Super Mario Bros. 25th anniversary, which is definitely pretty sweet because it has these symbols right here. And I just really like this red color that they had, and this is definitely an improvement from this one. And then of course in 2011 they released the Nintendo 3DS, and in 2012 the Nintendo 3DS XL. So I actually have this regular blue color in my collection. And then I even have this boxed one. So this is the Nintendo 3DS XL, and this is actually still sealed. This is the special New Super Mario Bros. 2 Gold Edition. So it has Mario on the front in gold with this scene right there from the gameplay. So this one is still sealed, and I haven't actually opened it. So this is definitely pretty sweet. And then in 2012 on till now, they released various models of the Nintendo 2DS and 3DS, which I'll have to go ahead and try and find some of those to complete my Nintendo Game Boy collection that you see here. So as you can tell, I do love the Nintendo Game Boy, as I have all of these different variations of the handheld itself, and some of these are actually so awesome to see in person, and just to have this massive collection right here, I'm super excited, as I love Nintendo and the past 30 years have been great. So I'm really excited to see what the next 30 years brings. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.